Yo, I claim to be the hottest artist unseen today, but I keep demons away and watch out for snakes. Now you could have the heart and the aim of a marksman, but some wanna see you fail just before you started. Ambitious go hard, the world is cold-hearted. Anything that'll generate profit, they want it. And when you get it, you could lose it quick. Send the highest price pussycat for you to get with. I'm on point like a sergeant in the Green Beret. Soldiers go to war even if the reason is fake. So please watch the stock, gold, land, and property. Watch your money, it gets ugly when you're playing Monopoly. Come on. The girl and the guy with the millionaire swag. Them dudes at the bank got your dough in the stash. The soldier in the tank from Cali to West Bank. In a cell getting tortured so you're sure to shank. Watch out. Yeah, watch your back. Watch out. Watch your back. The girl and the guy with the millionaire swag. Them dudes at the bank got your dough in the stash. The soldier in the tank from Cali to West Bank. In a cell getting tortured so you're sure to shank. Watch out. Yo, watch your back. Come on, watch out. Watch your back. Yeah, I get it in, fear God, not afraid of a thing. Slick now, but the long run you just can't win. And the way the world turns is just a matter of time. The fly is honey shining, rocking conflict diamonds. Some are scared, but they know it's like the world done crack. What's bad is now good and opposites don't attract. So I'm warning all, watch your back, watch out. Politicians only good enough for running their mouth. It won't be too long, the truth will get revealed. Without fear, go for what you know and do what you feel. But because he drives a phantom, that don't mean that he fake. He could have just watched his back and learned from all his mistakes. Watch out. Watch your back. The girl and the guy with the millionaire swag. Them dudes at the bank got your dough in the stash. The soldier in the tank from Cali to West Bank. In a cell getting tortured so you're sure to shank. Watch out. Yeah, watch your back. Come on, watch out. Watch your back. The girl and the guy with the millionaire swag. Them dudes at the bank got your dough in the stash. The soldier in the tank from Cali to West Bank. In a cell getting tortured so you're sure to shank. Watch out. Yo, watch your back. Come on, watch out. Watch your back. Watch your back.
An impossible fact, man's fooled like a mime act. Invisible walls, yeah, I can climb that. Ripping the rules up, we done with them. Switch the fuel to a little something different. Mix a listen, then wait for it to explode. If you missed it, you can take the next episode. Let you catch up, rewind back. I'm pushing enough to make the sides crack. Pack a bang, can't deny it's full up. I'm stacking up the plans before it's all crushed. Never knew you had me caged down. While all I'm trying to do is just break out. Reach the roof for a gasp of air. Can see right through it with a glassy stare. Hit the smash without giving a care. Keep it abstract cause I ain't living like a square. In the box but I'm thinking out of it. Couldn't cross cause we always make it tick. A lot of box but it's bound to fit. Cause we gon' make room when we shout big. Cause we gon' make room. If not, then we out of the box. It's just unorthodox, the way we shout big. Hey, hear me out of the box when we shout big. Hey, hopscotch, round the edge, yeah, you found me. Watch me taking steps by the boundary. See the border, ignore it, create my own space. Believe I make my own fate. It's a risk, either fly or collapse. I'm ready, got my feet tied up like a bootstrap. Ahead, cause we kicking the score. Original strategy, now we winning the war. Bringing tactics in the form of a track list. Should've warned me it was drastic. Match fixed with the measures we take. It's certain with the tricks cause we clever when we operate. Won't stop me escape, I'm getting out of here. If I gotta jump the gate, know that I'm over clear. No fear, land safe, we down. Seeking new sights, hear a new sound. In the box, but I'm thinking out of it. Couldn't cross, cause we always make it tick. A lot of rocks, but it's bound to fit. Cause we gon' make room when we shout big. Cause we gon' make room. If not, then we out of the box. It's just unorthodox, the way we shout big. Hear me out of the box when we shout big. Yeah, the forces couldn't hold back. Even Luke Skywalker couldn't hold that. Cause it's hot under fire, burning every bridge, you can't stop my desire. I'm shaking the framework, burst out. Now you wanna know my name, what I'm about. Thought I came from a rave, it started getting loud. Could hear the bass line from underground. Prepare yourself for something foreign. Unaware that we got a vibe in common. All forgotten where we came from, it's alien. Can't explain, you feel the same entertainment. Made the right decision. Over the mark, past the lines where we're sitting. Guaranteed, company to please. There ain't a key, no need for entry. In the box, but I'm thinking out of it. Couldn't cross, cause we always make it tick. A lot of box, but it's bound to fit. Cause we gon' make room when we shout big. Hey! In the box, but I'm thinking out of it. Couldn't cross, cause we always make it tick. A lot of box, but it's bound to fit. Cause we gon' make room when we shout big. Cause we gon' make room. If not, then we out of the box. It's just unorthodox, the way we shout big. Hear me out of the box when we shout big. If not, then we out of the box. It's just unorthodox, the way we shout big. Hear me out of the box when we shout big. Hey. Oxbridge. I just do what I do. See me? I just do what I do. Man, I just do what I do. Don't know about you. I just do what I do. Check. That's the intro. See that? Yeah. I just do what I do. See me? I just do what I do. Yo, check. Let me flip this script. I feel privileged for all who can witness this. I am close to divine. Know the moment is mine, need no omen or sign. Providing a back sound to all the squares that ask around. We getting it, my skills pay me. Trying to get a million, baby, with an adopted flow that God gave me. Nino. Tell whoever runners that they spot is temporary till I take it, it's mine. I'm selfish, your will. Tell Miss I'm on my wealth tip. So when we cash out soon, I'm just investing. No yes men, I've been a legend since before mom and dad had me and was best friends. I chew through comp, don't test them. I chew on tracks, cause after that I bless them. I just do what I do. You see me? I just do what I do. I just do what I do. I don't know about you, I just do what I do. Check. I just do what I do. See me? I just do what I do. Feel me? I just do what I do. I don't know about you, I just do what I do. Listen to this rhyming exhibition. I'm something you ain't seen, like an honest politician. This ain't just head hitting. A lot of pinched nerves on necks are caused by bars that bless spitting. Wait, don't hate, I just move how I move. I can't describe what it is, I just do what I do. I am better than any rapper from here to wherever, and my legacy will harass my offsprings forever. I flow and write better than any, I'm the hottest, and trust me, that's not being conceited, that's being modest. I'm being honest, pop up my collar, school of hard knocks, I graduated with honors. I just do what I do. You see me? I just do what I do. I just do what I do. I don't know about you. I just do what I do. Check. I just do what I do. You see me? I just do what I do. Feel me? I just do what I do. I don't know about you. I just do what I do. I just do what I do. You see me? I just do what I do. I just do what I do. I don't know about you. I just do what I do. Check.
They might be able to. They can hear me now. Can you? Are you there? Oh,
I can see it.
hey!
It's on the TV.
Hey, look at us go. Hello everybody. Welcome in to Ben Makes a Friend number 7. We are joined, of course, you know him, you must love him. Best BFAX. Hey, how's it going?
That's me.
Woo!
Yeah, that's me. You said my name. I'm so happy.
Hell yeah. Sorry, what were we just talking about? And I was like, we gotta go live.
We were talking about cocktails because you were drinking vermouth.
Yeah, so I was saying, because you asked me if I know what an old fashioned is. I do.
Yeah.
I do, but I feel like you had a story behind that.
I don't know. I really like them.
Yeah.
I feel like a man. You
Yeah.
order an old fashioned,
Yep.
and they're like, "What the fuck is an old fashioned?" And you're like, "Right, let me tell you, is Angostura bitters, water, sugar, bourbon. I think you add a bit of orange to it."
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't have a story about old fashions. I just like them.
Now, the first drink I ever ordered underage was an old fashioned because for all the reasons you just said, I thought it was manly.
Yep.
I thought it made me look older. I took a girlfriend at the time. I think I was 17. Legal age of drinking here is 19, so I think I was 17. I had a fake ID, which was a real ID from someone that looked like me. So, unfortunately, though, it was his old fake ID, so he had actually changed the 1984 to 1981. So it was a fake ID that was a real ID that was a fake ID.
that's one too many levels of ID for me. That's like the inception of IDs, man.
So there I was. I took my girlfriend at the time out to a fancy restaurant, and I thought I have this triple fake ID. I better order something they won't question me. And I was ready to pull it out. You know, like my hand was on the wallet. I was gunned to go, and I said, "I'll have an old fashioned." And the lady said, "Okay." Walked away and served me my drink, and I didn't know what to do.
Well, it's because no right-thinking 17-year-old Canadian would order an old fashioned.
Yeah, you're right. You're 100%
They're
right.
like, they looked at you with your little baby face and thought, this guy has got the opposite disease of progeria. He's a 98-year-old man that looks like a child.
Yeah.
And just thought, my God, what a awful life this poor man must lead, and just gave you a fucking drink.
And you're not wrong. I overpaid for the restaurant. But it was worth it. I felt really good. And every
Oh,
time anyone
yeah.
talks about an old fashioned, I just think of that story where I was so nervous and I was sweating and it was the summertime and, you know, Big Ben's out on the town and I had my cool guy fake ID because I was not a cool kid.
See, now, I never needed a fake ID because I'm from the South Wales Valleys, and there was a pub that used to have a rock night,
Mhm.
and like you could get in there and be like genuinely a baby in a bib, and they'd serve you. They like
Yeah.
like they did not give a fuck. They just wanted your money, sort of thing. So, like, I never got ID'd as a kid when I was drinking underage, sort of thing. You just turned up and go, I want a hooch.
Well, what,
I,
what's the legal drinking age for? Because for you guys, it's
18.
what? Oh,
18.
where is it 16?
Yeah. 60. Now, there were places in Europe where it's 16.
That's
When
okay.
I went to Spain as a child, I was about 15. I was underage for Spain,
Mhm.
but my mother, we had the like a little wristband for all inclusive.
Mhm.
Right,
Mhm.
so you could go. They had like a cafe and a canteen and things. You could get food for free, day or night, sort of thing. But you could go to the bar and order drinks. And me being a 16, 15-year-old boy with an adult bloody band, so you just go up to the bar and go, I want a sangria, 2 pints of that, and a vodka. Look at my wrist, and they
Yeah.
just give it to you. Oh,
Oh,
life
God is
changing.
good. Yeah. Yeah, those moments are so nice. Did you when you were if you guys haven't figured it out, we're not just talking about bees today. We're going to talk about a plethora of things. But I want to get to know you as a person a little bit, you know, and let the people know. Get to know you as a
They
person.
deserve it.
They
deserve
do.
to know about
They've earned it.
you know.
It's been a
They
long
certainly
pandemic.
did.
It's been a long
They
pandemic.
earned it with their crimes
Mhm.
and their misdemeanors,
Mhm.
and now this is the punishment they get.
Some say punishment, some say reward. But as the drinking age is 18, I don't know much about you as a young lad. Did you ever have one of those moments, and maybe it's culturally a bit different? Did you ever have one of those moments where how were your parents around drinking when you were underage?
Um, Now my old man was gone by that point, but my mother didn't really know. Or she did. She didn't let on.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, it's like even at like 14, my mother, I'd have a birthday party and I'd have a couple of my friends over, sleep over with the friends,
Hmm.
and she'd get it was like 12, like stubby little bottles.
Yes. Yeah. The Red
Yeah,
Stripe
yeah.
or
Uh,
Mickey's or
or whatever, just little bottles,
sure.
like
Yeah.
fucking 150 milliliters or whatever it bloody is. It was this cheapo, like bargain basement beer, like French beer, which was like 0.7% or something like that. It was basically tap water.
Yeah.
And but I'd be there, 14 years old, with my little bottle going, "Oh, I'm a big man," you know.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
But no, it was never a big issue.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It probably should have been because I am like quite an alcoholic now.
Sure. Sure.
If my mother had sort of put her foot down in my youth, maybe I'd be a better man.
Do you think now? Yeah, but BVAX, you feel like a rebellious individual just on the surface. So would it have been a benefit, or like were
Oh
you
no, I
this?
definitely would have done it anyway.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, no, no, you ain't no boss of me.
yeah.
You
Right. Yeah.
know?
You seem like the kind of that's exactly, and I vibe with that. I obviously. Um, Interesting, because yeah, I feel like the cultural differences around drinking is
No, no, no,
European to North American is so different. Canadian,
oh,
we
no,
have that touch of European, right? But not as much as you guys.
right, but this is the thing. You talk about like Canadian to European. Now, British to European, different fucking cultures. Or
Sure.
in Britain, it is pints, pints, pints. Come on, lads, let's get up down here.
Hmm.
Whereas you take somewhere like France, and you're drinking wine around your dinner table from the age of like 5,
Yeah.
right? And by the time you're an adult, you sort of develop a grown-up relationship with alcohol. Whereas in the UK, it's just a case of it's Friday night, let's get fucked and fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So
You guys are openly like Canadians are openly rowdy too, but when there's something uniquely British, maybe I don't want to just say, but in my experience, uniquely British about
mm,
anyone under the age of 32, a man,
mm,
a male maybe under the age of 30. When every time I go to England or yeah, definitely England, people
mm.
want to strictly fight. Like they go out to get drunk and fight. Like the fighting part
Yeah,
is unexciting. Like we're going out to. I'm a
yeah,
28-year-old man. Let's go have a
yep,
physical altercation with a stranger.
yep.
It's strange to me.
It's strange to me, but I'll give you an example. There was a nightclub, or the only nightclub in my hometown for years and years and years. It was a little fucking shithole. I hated it, right? But every Friday night or Saturday night, if you were walking through the town, you had to avoid that fucking area
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because it would just be fighting and mayhem,
Yeah.
right? And the owners of the nightclub actually lived like 4 houses down from my mum, right?
Oh no.
And they were completely fucking oblivious. Or if they weren't oblivious, they'd lie to you because they're like, "Oh no, there's never any problems in our pub. No, we wouldn't
What?
tolerate it in our pub." And I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Are
What?
you like, how can you not know what a nightmare that area is like? And yet it's just that people go out with the intention of, I'm gonna get into a fucking altercation. I,
Oh.
I don't understand it, but I do think it is uniquely British.
Yeah, and after a certain point, because I think there's something that we can say that is, in my experience, somewhat universal worldwide is young men like to fight, and that's young. Like 19 to 22, you're out, you have liquor in you. You're probably going to try to start a fight with someone, or you're not going to back down if someone nudges you, or that anger and that testosterone is unbridled, and you have no idea how to handle your emotions because you've never really learned. And everywhere I go, you see someone that can barely grow a beard, you're like, you're gonna get rowdy. Don't need to be near you.
I am nearly 40 years old and I can barely grow a beard. So
yeah, okay.
I legit, I haven't shaved in like a year, and this is all I get.
Yeah, but that's nothing to shake a stick at. I think that's nothing to shake a stick at.
No, again, I don't have a beard out of any sort of sense of fashion. It's just out of laziness.
I get
if I had any sense of fashion, I'd get a haircut and a shave. But
I disagree.
I don't give a shit.
I'm gonna look, BFAX. I'm going to openly disagree with you. I think you have a whole vibe happening, and I think it's working perfectly. To be honest,
I'm going for homeless Einstein.
Yeah.
It's the hot new look. Everybody will be doing it next year. Oh, right, wait a minute. Paper bag. I just noticed in chat, paper bag says, I like how B says you. Right? Now, in a Welsh accent, so year, as he said, 365 days is a year. This thing that I listen to sound with on the side of my head is a year.
Uh-oh.
I am sat year.
Oh, no.
Right? So all three of those words.
Yep.
And I hear things, you. Right? So all four words are pronounced exactly the fucking same. Oh no, I'm not. I know you're not making fun of me, but it's just it's one of those weird little idiosyncrasies of the Welsh accent. Is we got four words that all sound identical. Was
that challenging? I talked about this a bit yesterday on the podcast. Undiagnosed, definitely dyslexic. I my reading level is mid at best. Maybe a grade 12 reading level kind of thing. My reading comprehension is high, but I've always had a difficult time when people tell me to spell things phonetically because I can't figure that out. Now, if I was Welsh,
what do you mean phonetically, like the phonetic
alphabet? How it sounds.
Oh,
so
right.
So in your case, I'm picturing it's already a nightmare for me in hearing Canadian accents, but they're pretty enunciated for the most part, right? Especially on the west side. But Welsh, you just dropped 17 variations of your. I think my brain would have exploded trying to learn how to spell. Was that a challenge when you were kind of coming up?
No, I'll be honest with you. No, I don't like to brag, but I'm a very good speller.
I fucking bet. I knew you would be. I knew you would be.
But no, the biggest problem growing up Welsh language-wise is now in South Wales, we speak English as a first language. Right? But all of the street signs are in English and Welsh. And we've got lots of Welsh place names, right?
Sure.
And even now, after living in Wales for nearly 40 years, I still struggle with some of the place names.
Yeah.
Because you have places like Abertillery and what's that one in North Wales? The famous one. Have you heard of the one in North Wales? It's one of the longest names in the world of a place.
Yes.
Right? Here it is. I gotta try it now off the top of my head. It's Llanfair Porthgwyngyll Gogerwch Llantysilio Go. That's a place name. That's one place. That's the name. It's on the train station.
How big is it?
The town? Pretty small town, actually.
So does it fit the size of the name on the signs?
Well, you just make a bigger sign. What are you on about, Ben?
Well, I don't know. I'm not a sign crafter. I'm not a sign crafter.
No, you just make a big long sign, but it means it's like the little church on the hill by the road. Take a left after the Tesco's. If you see the Lidl, you've gone too far. Yeah, it's basically a set of directions.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I'm not a scientist, says Tater Thoughts.
Yeah,
I agree. Ben is not a scientist or a sign man.
scientist.
Yeah, a scientist. That's a very funny play on words you've just done there,
Look at
Ben.
us go.
We should be proud of ourselves.
Well, look at us go. Tater, how are you? I hope you're well, mate. Welcome in to Ben Makes Your Friend 7. Okay, so we're Welsh people, the Welsh nation has always, and I has always kind of confused and
I was gonna say this is gonna get quite racist now, isn't it, Ben?
is Welsh a race? Let me be clear. I have so many questions about. One of my best friends growing up, they were from Wales. Now it had to be, they didn't have accents. They were second or third generation, right? But they're very proud Welsh people. Now it's something that I've always been so confused about because as a North American, the United Kingdom obviously is a bunch of little countries, so that's hard for us to wrap our minds around for a second. Then we get over it, right? And we're like, okay, so we have Ireland, great. We have England, great. We have Scotland, great. And Wales is
always left out.
It's if it's there, it's last, but it's always left out, and to the point where it's a country, right?
It is a very real country. We have our own flag. We've got our own language and history. We're just kind of shit.
So what? Well, what happened there? What happened with you guys? Did you not have a big enough war? Because we're hearing about Ireland and Scotland. We know what happened there, and there's no way England didn't fuck you guys.
They definitely fucked us, guys.
Yeah,
right? And it's because the imperialist yoke of the fascistic nature of England just clamped down on the proud Welsh people.
Was it because you're too geographically close, and so they really got to dampen you, and instead of like, because Scotland has mountains and stuff, maybe that split it up. I genuinely don't understand why we don't hear about Wales as an individual country enough.
Right. So there's two questions there, right? The first one is, as for geographical location, we're as close to England as Scotland is. We're right fucking next to them.
Yeah, sure,
right?
yeah.
And when they were separate kingdoms, there was always, I think your Game of Thronesy sort of times, there was always fighting between the various people and whatever. My Welsh history's fucking awful, by the way. So I'm going to be super inaccurate and gloss over a bunch of stuff. Our last king or prince was Owain Glyndŵr. And that was his name, man. Don't look at me like that.
I love it. The Welsh accent to me feels like a drawn out kind of English accent with more in it, and I like that.
So the Welsh accent is based on our language. We've got different letter sounds, which is why the letter O in Welsh is O, right? So I'd say like homeless, or open, right? So it's because of our original language. The reason South Wales doesn't speak English is basically because the English came along and literally beat the Welsh language out of Welsh children.
Yeah.
They took over the schools and they would cane you if you spoke Welsh in school.
I've heard that because it's been equated to what happened up until like the 90s happens in Canada with indigenous populations.
I don't know much about that. My Canadian knowledge is probably a lot worse than my Welsh knowledge. So
yeah, they've been eradicating indigenous languages in North America since the whites got here, and obviously because it was successful in other places, like Wales and other.
So did you have your I suppose they call them Native Americans way up north then? Is it? Because I always think like your Apaches and whatever. I always think of them as sort of like your hot bits of America. You know,
So
you
so what we believe has happened, and I mean like I think generally the historical scientific community. Sorry, my cat's getting crazy. Was there was nomadic tribes from Asia that came across. There was an ice bridge that connected Russia and Alaska, like the Russia we know now and Alaska now. And they traveled across, and then that's how people got spread through North America. So yeah, there's still to this day, like the term. I don't know if you know the term Inuit, which is
Mhm.
in the 90s and aughts was really referred to. People would
The
use it
Eskimos.
Eskimos and Inuit, which is just a specific tribe of
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
northern
yeah.
indigenous people, right? And that's why we don't really use those blanket statements anymore. But yeah,
Mhm.
they were scattered all throughout, and still, up until maybe 15, 20 years ago, the eradication of language was still being a part of stuff.
Ongoing, like,
Yeah, ongoing.
wow.
Yeah, so I get it. I get
Oh,
it, or
uh,
understand.
uh, I honestly though, like where South Wales is concerned, I think we've probably benefited from the fact that we're English speaking primarily.
Mhm. Mhm.
The whole fucking history behind it is nasty and shady, and you know,
Oh yeah.
but we probably have benefited from it. I don't know. I'm probably not informed enough, but
Yeah,
you know.
I'm with you. Let's keep it light. I got really heavy on the podcast for about 3 hours yesterday. Can you tell me? I went nuts. Can you tell me about? If you guys missed it, the VOD's still up. Um, right before we went live, you were talking about. You said something about you have a great drug story.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I love
So,
drugs, by the way, and I'm a proponent for them. I think
yeah.
addiction is a horrible thing that ruins lives and communities, which is why we should openly have these discussions more.
No,
Um,
absolutely.
drugs.
This isn't one of those discussions, but
Yeah, let's go.
so I had a friend staying with me recently. He'd been going through a bit of a hard time. He was out sort of without a place to stay. I got a room, took a bed in it, and stay here for a while. And then one day he had a headache or earache, and it was continuous, real pain in the head for him. So he'd phoned up his mother and gone, "Can you bring me some painkillers?" And she's like, "Yeah, no worries, I'll drop them down later." And she did.
Yep.
Here you go. Take 2 of those. Now, I got the slip by her, right? And
Sorry, can you repeat that?
the slip, I got the thing with the tablets,
Sure. Okay. Okay.
right?
Okay.
And we're looking at it and we're like, what the fuck is this? So we Googles it. And it's MST continuous prolonged release tablets. Now,
Mhm.
what is MST? MST is apparently an end of life like cancer painkiller where like you are going to die in like 3 weeks' time. You have some of these fucking tablets, they'll keep you happy and comfortable for the basically one little life you got left. Right? And she'd gone to him, I don't know, take 2 of them. Right? And also, these
Where'd she?
tablets come in like, oh yeah, yeah, I fuck knows where she got them from, but I don't know.
So she
Right?
doesn't have cancer?
No. Right? She just turns some of these drugs and says, take 2 of those, right?
For a headache for her
And
son?
for a headache for his son. Now, the tablet is a 60 milligram tablet, right? And they start at 5, right? So,
Okay.
so this is a strong tablet. So my mate goes like, oh, I'm gonna take fucking half of one of these. So I goes, oh, I'll have the other half.
Of
Why not?
course. You're not gonna
Give it a
not.
go. I'm not gonna not. Exactly,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it takes this half a tablet, right? 20 minutes, half hour later, I guess. Right? And it is good shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It is the lowest I've been in ages. I just there chilling out. And we're like, fucking hell, she told you to take 2. Oh, this is crazy. I goes to bed, couldn't sleep, so I get up. But at about 1 o'clock, my mate's on the table. 1 o'clock in the morning. On the settee. Sorry, not on the table.
Okay, yeah.
He's on the settee, and he is panned out, chilling, awake, but panned out. And he's like, "I had another one of them tablets." I'm like, "Can I have another one of them tablets?" Right?
Yeah.
So I took another one of these tablets. I was banging, but I was just sat here, just chilling.
So what was the experience? Because I'm guessing you've done other types of drugs prior to this.
It was very much like very drowsy but quite giggly weed.
So like
Right.
what was it?
Like
an
Valium
opioid?
and weed. Oh yeah, fuck knows what's in it, mate.
Yeah,
Fuck knows. It's fucking cancer fucking medication. But so I took the tablet, like chilled out for like 3 hours on the settee, just
As you
fucking
do.
monged out.
Yep.
Went to bed and slept for 24 hours.
Jesus.
Like legit, just slept 24 hours straight.
Yeah.
Like I'd wake up, I'd notice it, like I could see my bedroom window. I'm like, oh, it's daytime. Close my eyes, go to sleep. Oh, it's nighttime now. Go to sleep. Well, oh, it's daytime now.
Oh my
And-
God.
Oh, but I tell you what, though, right? I got one left. I'm saving it for a rainy day.
You must. You must. You must.
But like again, he just asks his like mother for some painkillers, and she turns up with the strongest, trippiest painkillers I have ever seen in my life.
I wonder it is what is it called? MST?
MST.
MST. If we have any medical professionals still active in chat, let us know if you know what that is. If you want to let us know what that is, because I know you know what that is.
I think it's like palliative care medication or something like that. Is yeah.
How were you?
Like-
So that was that recently that happened?
Mm,
Like in the past 48
2,
hours?
3 weeks,
Oh,
3
weeks.
weeks ago.
So
Yeah,
what
yeah.
were your, if you don't mind me asking, and it's
Mm.
obviously you know me, it's cool if you do. What
Mm.
were your bowel movements like
Ah,
afterwards?
Now, very interesting question, Ben. Very interesting question. I have no idea I was off my tits on drugs.
So when you
Uh,
know, hold on, when you got when you were done with the drugs, did you? So my what I'm looking for here is I'm wondering if there was you were blocked up and then a full release, because with opioids that's what happened. You
Yeah.
get blocked up and then there's a full release usually.
Yeah, I now on these, I only took 1.5 of these, right?
Mhm.
So I don't think it really affected me. Now take into account I didn't sleep. I did sleep for 24 hours, so that means I also didn't shit for 24 hours.
Yeah, it's got to be an
Um,
opioid. It's got to be.
Right. So you were talking about this, right? I know you'll like this story because it's about poop.
Love it.
I was in hospital about 18 years ago. I had an injury, broke both my ankles basically.
Oh wow.
Not going into that.
Sure. Yeah.
So I was on a lot of fucking painkillers at the time, like a lot of fucking painkillers. And I'm in hospital and I did not shit for 2 weeks. Right?
Oh.
I'm in right? And
Oh.
they gave me like I couldn't leave my bed. I weren't allowed to put my feet on the floor because they were both fucking broken.
Mhm.
And like they're going, I'll give you a bedpan and you can sit there and shit in your bed. And I'm like, I ain't shitting in my fucking bed.
Because then especially when you're younger and you're worried about your body stuff and oh my
Well,
god.
no, it weren't even that. I ain't shitting in my fucking bed, and I couldn't do it even if I tried. Right,
Sure.
I did try.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And when I got out of hospital and I finally took that 2-week dump, it was probably the most painful experience of my life, and I'm
Oh.
including the time when I broke both my ankles.
Yeah. I get you.
The one day, because again, I was on morphine and all sorts like
Mhm.
that. I could not piss.
So
And
you've been on morphine before.
Oh, morphine's awesome, mate.
Yeah, we all know.
I wish I
There's a
could
reason
take
why
that
it literally destroys half of America right now.
Uh,
There's a I don't know if do you guys have this? There's
There's
a
a
opioid
fentanyl.
epidemic.
Yeah, it's fentanyl in America. Do you know, I found
Wow.
out my mother is on fentanyl.
Stop.
Oh, no, no, no. So it's prescribed to her,
Yeah, I
and
know
it's,
though.
I know. And I said to my mum, I don't want you taking that shit. I really don't. And she's like, oh, it's only 0.1% fit. And I'm like, nah, don't want nothing to do with it.
No.
Helix is asking, how did I survive? The
Welcome
answer
in,
is I
Helena.
didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a ghost.
So the
ghost.
poop.
Poop.
And welcome in, Helena. I hope you're well. It was so after so you're released after the morphine. It was the most painful thing. Was it hardened, or was it just so much? Tell me about it. Was
No,
your asshole ripped?
you want.
Yeah.
This is. I really hope my family's watching right now.
We don't have to talk about it. No pressure. No pressure.
No, it was like like passing barbed wire.
Oh yes, yep. Spiky poops, but
Spiky
2 weeks.
poops.
A spiky poop. I know
But
spiky poops
2
very
weeks
well.
of
Yeah.
spiky poop.
Yeah. I don't know if this is gonna make you feel any better, but I did go a solid week without pooping one time when my parents sent me to a Bible camp, where I was ridiculed and harassed and bullied and beat up by so-called Christians. So if you're wondering why I'm an atheist,
See, now
I didn't shit for a week.
I understand, mate. I once read the Book of Mormon and I didn't shit for a month, mate. So, you know,
I was
that's
going.
what religion does.
So speaking of religion, right before we get into the meat and potatoes of what we're going to talk about, which is conspiracy theories, a few years ago, and now I'm just you know me, we've hung out a little bit, we chat all the time on Twitter. I'm a curious little guy. I'm just a curious kitty, right? So I'm always interested.
You are the bi-curious Ben.
You know what? Who even knows? What's gonna happen? I need to know. So I'm always very curious about things in life and
Like my
situations.
bowel movements, for example. You're very curious about those.
I'm extraordinarily curious, and I didn't want to go into more detail, but we got enough. But there was a time in my life where I was just pretty bored, and I wanted to just learn about other religions before I was gonna decide to openly like dump on them or not. And in the end, it turns out, hey, if you didn't grow up in it, you probably shouldn't be dumping on it. You know. So, but I didn't.
No, I'll still fucking dump on it. Fuck him.
Don't get me wrong. I will as well, but I won't go out of my way. Given the opportunity, I'm swinging the bat, but I'm not going to go to the ballpark and be like, hey, I want to shit on Muslims today. You know? Now, that being said, I was curious about the Quran, so I got a copy of the Quran right before kind of Christmas time, whatever, and I was traveling. I lived in Calgary, Alberta at the time, and my parents lived in the Okanagan in British Columbia, so a province over. So I was going to fly home for the holidays, and I was like, "Hey, I got this Quran. I'm curious because I grew up with the Bible, and I just want to."
Now, presumably, you read like an English translation of it.
It was an English translation for sure.
Right.
Yeah. And
I'm not sure how good your Arabic is, but
it's been better, you know.
It's passable. You can order a beer, but just not in Saudi Arabia.
I just know the greeting and the reply to the greeting. If someone drops that on me, which they won't because of my paleness.
Awish Haboob.
No, assalamu alaikum, and alaikum salam. But so there I was with the Quran, and I was such a silly goose. I put it in the top of my bag because I only took a carry-on. And
wait a minute, is this on a flight?
Yeah.
And you with your beard.
Yeah. And it was a big beard at the time, and I was obviously I was in my 20s, so I really didn't care about my appearance. So I was I don't know, big beard. Um, I was I dressed up for some reason. For some reason, I dressed up really nice for this flight. I think I just wanted to be fancy and just I was bored. I wanted to be fancy. I was 23,
Yeah.
right, or whatever. So I'm dressed up
You
really,
wore
really
your
nice. I have a giant
and your
beard.
burqa. You wore your burqa.
I was 3 seconds away from that. I was dressed up really nice. I obviously I don't have the fortification as a human to be a religious person. I'm not that outwardly fancy, but there I was, and I was trying to get through security. The lady opens my bag, looked, and it's just right on top because it was reading. I was just gonna read right when I get through
Well,
this security thing. I'm just gonna
hey, you
see
got fucking couple of hours on a flight as well. Something to fucking do.
what am I gonna do, right? So, and I got there so early because it's Christmas time, and it's so busy. They're passing everyone through. It's a domestic flight. It's the actual flight. I'm a few hours early. The actual flight is about 45 minutes. And she looks, stops,
He goes,
closes the
I'm sorry, you're
bag.
gonna have to have some fucking extra checks here. Come over this side here
That's
while I put on
exactly.
this rubber glove.
She called 3 people over. They all pull me aside in public and they said we might need to go into the back room, and I said sure, what, it's fine. Now the really interesting thing is I have been working at this airport for about a
Right.
year installing the security system. So I've been in all of these rooms. I know all of these people aside from the shift that is working. So I don't know, I know everyone at this airport aside from the 10
I'm
people
sorry,
dealing
but
with me.
the idea of you the ex-security installer of the airport turns up with a Quran and they look at you and go, wait a minute.
It
Now,
was
I gotta be honest, that is super racist of them. Like, having that book does not make you a threat.
No, I know, and it was it.
But
Look, having the
Jesus
book.
Christ, you walk and you're like, oh yeah, I got a Quran and I installed all of your security systems, by the way, so I know where all the weak points are in there.
It wasn't racist at all. It all made sense.
Like,
It all made sense why they pulled me aside, and I
yeah,
didn't at the time. Of course, I'm a silly little goose. I don't know anything. Nothing ends up happening. It's all fine. They give me a pat down, no cavity searches. They send me on my way. But it was one of those moments where I think was about 10 of us standing around, and we all didn't know what to do. We're all like,
mm,
this is, and it's dawning on me as you're saying that. I was like, at that moment, once they all, because I was like, you guys know me. Oh shit.
yeah,
Oh my god.
oh,
I
that's why.
didn't even think. I didn't even think of it. So that was nuts. That was absolutely nuts. But I think that'll lead us into what I'd love to really talk about today, and that's conspiracy theories.
You're always banging on about them.
I wanna talk about. I wanna open it up with I think something that's prevalent in our generation, right? Where you're almost 40, so am I. Excuse me. One of the biggest ones, I think, for at least around here, maybe it's not for you guys. Was 9/11 being an inside job a big conspiracy theory for you?
So when 9/11 happened, right, I was in school. And when it happened, we're legit like us little fucking nobody Welsh people are looking at 9/11 happening in America, like at 3,000 miles away, and thinking we are going to war. Right?
So you guys
and
had
I
the
mean-
same. You had the same thing as us Canadians.
Right? And we thought, fuck. And eventually we did, in all fairness. Tony Blair and George Bush, and they
Dude,
dragged us in.
Tony Blair, that bitch, man.
He is a bitch, yes. But we did have the whole 9/11 truther, whatever they fucking call themselves, that thing. That happened over here as well.
Yeah. Sure.
Jet fuel can't melt steel beams and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, ultimately, it doesn't have to. It just has to make the steel not very good. But yeah, no, we engaged in that as much as any other country. I think.
Yeah.
There was. It wouldn't shock me if people Sorry, I'm trying not to burp.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Um, people I sort of trust and respect. It probably wouldn't shock me if a couple of them didn't sort of engage in, oh well, it was an inside job. The CIA planted explosives in,
Hmm.
I think that's pretty universal, because I think I think with a lot of conspiracies, and I think 9/11 really exposed that. So
Hmm.
we like to think that the people in charge, the government or whoever, the Illuminati or whatever, they know what they're fucking doing and they're all powerful, right? We
Yeah.
like to think
Yeah.
that they can do whatever they fucking want, and can. Whereas, I mean, you take America, right? America could not keep a blowjob that the president had in his own office. They couldn't keep that secret, right?
Yep.
Bill Clinton has a BJ in his own office, and they could not keep that secret.
My man,
How many people have you got to silence for a job like the 9/11 thing?
everyone.
Like
There's
thousands and
hundreds of people
thousands.
being murdered for sure to
Mhm.
keep that quiet. Hundreds, if not thousands,
And
of people being
the
murdered to keep it quiet.
the truth of the matter is that generally most people are kind of incompetent,
Yes.
and we're just trying to sort of get by. We don't know as much as we think we know. We
Hmm.
can't do as much as we think we can. And the guys in charge are stabbing blindly in the dark as much as anyone else. And it is comforting to think that they know what they're doing.
Hmm.
They can manipulate anything they want. And the truth of the matter is, they're fucking idiots just like us.
Yeah. So you don't think that the CIA went into the Twin Towers and planted explosive months before and no one
That's
noticed?
correct, Ben. I do not believe
Okay.
that there was a
Do you
secret
have?
cabal.
Hmm.
Yeah, sorry, carry on.
No. That's my bad. Offhand, because I have a few I do want to get into a little bit more, but offhand, are there any conspiracy theories that kind of tickle your taint? Is there anything out there that you're like, I kind of like this, whether it be like a
Right.
Bigfoot, whether it be a government, whether it be a world government, what is there anything out there that just tickles the
Ooh.
area between your butthole and your ball sack?
Um, I mean, I always kind of like the sort of the memey ones, like the ones like Keanu Reeves is immortal.
Oh my god.
Have you
But
ever heard that one?
so if Keanu Reeves was immortal, wouldn't that make him much more evil than we want to believe he is?
Oh, no,
An immortal watching
no,
us suffer in peril?
no, because you can be immortal. You could just, you,
Yeah.
Ben,
Yeah.
you could be immortal, but you don't know it yet, right? You've been alive for, what are you,
Sure.
21 years old, um,
Yeah, let's go, baby.
right? And like in 15 years' time, when you become a grown up like the
Yeah.
rest of us,
Yes, when I catch up.
you might get hit by a car and realize you were fine. Right? And, oh my god, I'm fucking immortal. I don't know it yet.
Uh-huh.
Now, would that immediately make you evil?
No, it's the awareness of the immortality and choosing not to change anything. Now, as we're talking about this, I'm realizing if Keanu has been aware for many millennia but can't do anything, then why would
What
you
could
do
you
it?
do?
Well,
What could you do? Like, could you,
you could become an
if you
actor
were
to make people
immortal,
unhappy.
if you've been alive for 6,000 years, could you have stopped 9/11?
No, oh no.
Exactly.
And
Then
like,
what can you do? And could you blame Keanu Reeves
Oh shit.
for
Yeah.
not stopping 9/11. Keanu Reeves, the definitely immortal person.
Well, I feel like I could. So 9/11 is a tough one for me because I think there's a lot of other really horrible things that went on that affected a lot more people at the exact same time. They just weren't as rich. Now, will I blame Keanu for, like Myanmar or some of the genocides in the Congo, of the, the 90s,
Definitely yes.
early on. See, there we go. So
Well, no. But that's not to do with him being immortal. That's to do with him being a warlord,
okay,
right?
that's fair.
An African or Asian warlord. He just
Yes.
turns up places
Mhm.
and starts, wars.
So that's the other
But
conspiracy I did want to touch on is Keanu Reeves an East African warlord, and has he been so for the last 17 years? Now,
I would argue at this point is unarguably true. I mean,
yeah.
it is. We've seen it. We saw it live.
Mhm.
Coney 2012.
That's
Coney
what I wanted.
2012.
We know
That
Coney.
was
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves in makeup. You've seen
Yeah.
Tropic Thunder.
Yeah. Oh,
You know,
yes.
with Robert Downey Jr. in blackface. That was Keanu Reeves as Tropic Thunder.
Now this is the other thing that I have seen, on we know, big shout outs, big ups to Fox News, big ups to 4chan, big ups to
Good
yeah,
people.
good people, both those places, dark web folks, we love
Yeah.
you. Keep it up. Now the Keanu Reeves is Coney, I thought that was interesting because I think the interesting about the Coney Keanu Reeves thing, the height obviously matches, right? Like the height of the person. That's
Yep.
perfect. The
Eye
weight.
distance.
The eye distance. Now that's the thing. That's the eye distance was massive. All the naysayers that were trying to line up those trees in that one photo with the eyes, and when he turned the other way, we figured it out. We saw, Nick Avocado go down, down to East Africa, do the measurements himself. Show his belly and the weight at the time, and do the comparisons.
Ben, let's just stop it here right now. Let's just stop it and just appreciate the fact that Coney,
Yeah.
what was his catchphrase? Whoa.
Remind me.
Whoa. See, Keanu fucking Reeves.
Yeah. How are you gonna?
Undeniable.
Yeah. You know what? You're right. How are you gonna come to us? A couple internet sleuths, looking at stuff and telling us that Keanu wasn't Coney.
Frankly, it's ridiculous to suggest.
Yeah. So that's an interesting, really. It's one of my favorite conspiracy theories. That does tie in with 9/11, and obviously there's people.
Coney did 9/11. It was an inside-outside job.
Well, who know? We know Keanu could have.
He definitely could have.
Right? We know Keanu could have. Now, I wanna shift a little bit because obviously we align the conspiracy. I don't even want to call it a conspiracy because I think it discredits it too much that Keanu is Coney. Talk to me about what do you think about chemtrails? Now, I don't know. If you don't know about chemtrails, anyone watching or just listening, chemtrails are some people suspect it's weather control things happening. So when you see a jet fly by you in the sky and there's kind of white streaks behind it, the theory is that is weather controlling. It's a weather controlling device
or mind controlling,
or though, mind you, or mind controlling.
No, I'm gonna go into serious mode here for a moment, right?
Please do.
The fucking chemtrail conspiracy theory winds me the fuck up. Right? Genuinely does.
Yeah.
Because I think the best sort of counter to it. Do you know Kurzgesagt on YouTube?
Tell me about it.
Kurzgesagt, it means in a nutshell, right? and they do educational videos on a bunch of topics, and they're really fucking good. Right? Genuinely, really fucking good. And here is a general rule of thumb that will help you determine if any conspiracy theory is true.
Mhm.
Does it affect rich people? Right?
Mhm.
So you take chemtrails. The idea is somebody's putting chemicals in our air to make us more submissive to the government or to control the weather, and they peppering us with these horrible fucking chemicals. Now,
Mhm. Mhm.
ask yourself, do rich and powerful people breathe air?
Yes.
They are not putting chemicals in the air,
Yeah, you're
all
right.
right?
You're right.
Another one is so there's a secret cure for, oh my god, wait a minute, dingus. Who say, oh my god, I know dingus. I'm sorry.
Hey,
Come
no,
on.
you're good. Dingus, welcome in. Welcome in.
Yeah, I gave him that name.
Is he a
He's
dingus?
he is a dingus. He's a
Yeah.
complete fucking dingus.
We love him.
His full name is Divvy Dingus, and a div in the UK is slang for a penis.
So penis. Like circus in Las
Does
Vegas.
dingus mean penis? I always
Dingus.
thought it meant idiot.
Dingus means penis. My
'Cause
dingus. My dong, my
yeah.
dingus.
We've got doofus and dingus.
Well, doofus is strictly speaking about your brain activity. Dingus is relating your brain activity to your penis activity, and you're thinking with your dingus, your dingus.
Oh,
So
this
he's penis.
changes everything. Hey, dingus, did you hear that? You dick.
Dick. We
Yeah.
love us a dick here. We love us a dick here.
I've completely forgotten my train of thought. What were we talking about? I saw the word dingus and I was like,
We were talking about chemtrails.
Kurzgesagt. Yeah, no, like there's another theory that there's a secret cure for cancer that they're keeping from the poor people. But the thing is, rich people die of cancer.
Hold on. Do they though?
Yes.
How many rich
fucking
how many rich corpses have you fucked? How many rich corpses have you been inside of? How many rich corpses have you had the opportunity to fondle?
It
'Cause-
depends on how you define rich.
Well, then if you have to ask that, they're not rich enough. Now there's and that's something that I think the lowest class, which is
Nailed me to the floor, you Ben.
Yeah. I got you on this one.
Fucking reamed my ass.
Yeah, well, it's about to get worse because
Oh no.
were you aware, and this is 100% real. This is not, I'm not memeing or anything. This is actually real. Are you aware of silver iodide and potassium iodide and cloud seeding?
I am aware of cloud seeding, and frankly, I'm not necessarily against it.
Yeah.
So
Well,
for
here
viewers, cloud seeding is the idea that you can spray some chemicals in the air,
yeah. It's
and intentionally cause, say, rain to happen.
so you know, that's not just an idea that happens.
Yeah, no, we do it.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
and Canada is actually the biggest purveyor of it in the world. We do it the most out of it.
Really?
We cloud seed the most out of anyone on the planet.
Is that down to your agriculture, I'm guessing? It's down to you want to make sure that there's enough water on your farms and things like that.
It's because we are the largest agricultural area on Earth with the cleanest water on the planet.
Yeah,
So if China cloud seeded their farms, they would all die.
Yeah,
right?
they
They-
get like acid rain.
They
and
can't get rain from the air. We can still. We are one of the only places on the planet that can still. And people in Canada, this is why I'm with you. I actually get kind of upset at people talking about chemtrails because I'm like, cloud seeding exists and we do it so we can all live, man. We're all eating flour. The whole world is eating flour.
Yeah, I like I said, I'm not against that
Mhm.
as a practice. You know,
Mhm.
I think if you do it with sort of, should we say, the right intentions, if the
Sure.
idea is, look, I'm gonna make it rain so I can have wheat and potatoes and whatever,
Mhm.
brilliant. You know, we're using our knowledge for the betterment of everyone. Um, Now, if it so turned out that, by doing that, we're actually all gonna get cancer or whatever, then, my opinion might change. But
Mhm. Mhm.
I like I don't have any sort of philosophical disagreements with the idea of, yeah, we could fucking do it, you
Yeah.
know?
I'm with you. I don't have enough scientific knowledge myself to say it's good or bad, or I'm like, hey, you guys you're scientists, you're doing this, you know better than my dumb ass. I'm on the internet talking shit with best B facts. That's what I do.
My degree was in psychology. I cannot claim to know fucking anything.
Yeah, and I don't
You
even
know.
have a degree, B facts. So here we are. Um, how do you feel about? Because I'm just gonna keep firing these conspiracy theories at you if you're
You
okay with that.
do it.
And
Do it.
stop me at any time. And if there's anything that you're like, hey, what about this? Let me know about it. Stop me at any time. But so conspiracies like the New World Order, like the Illuminati, where I know you touched on it briefly a little bit ago. Now I'm with you to a certain point. I want to preface this with a few things. I'm with you to the point that I don't think that people know more than they know. The people that are saying we know things you don't know, all they know is how to manipulate us. In my opinion, like that's what they know that we don't know is how to manipulate massive people. Or you kind of very quickly. I don't think they know about stuff we don't know about, and I don't think there's a mass group of scientists anywhere that know something that a mass group of scientists anywhere else on this planet don't know about. That being said, I do think I really do believe this that the control of money is a weaponizable thing, and as human beings, why wouldn't I try to get some people to weaponize it? So I don't think there's a global reigning organization, but I'm not afraid of the idea. I am afraid of the idea, but I think it might be real, the idea that there are kind of these shadowy groups of folks. I don't want to say organizations, but groups of folks that decide to sway one thing or another that kind of affects the planet.
That definitely happens, right? I mean, that definitely fucking happens. There are powerful and sort of rich and powerful people out there who are trying to game the system to their own advantage.
Mhm.
Um, and whether or not that takes place in a shadowy room with a big circular table with guys in capes,
And
you know,
what would that be about? Like, do you think it would go back that far? Like, what's going? Because we have monarchies. Why wouldn't it just be the monarchy that is that shadowy organization?
and
That's what
and
confuses me.
that's basically the thing, is that the guys that would be a member of that group are overt. All right, you
Yeah,
you know them, you see them. They would be people like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. Boris Johnson, Rishi Sunak, Justin Trudeau. They're the
sure.
fucking powerhouses in the world.
Yes.
Are
Yes.
they all sitting around a table and going, right, China, what you want to do is this, and Canada, you need to be
Yeah.
doing that? Probably not. I
Yep.
think each
Yep.
individual party is looking out for their own interests, and for that reason, I don't think you're sort of your New World Order or
Yep.
you're an Illuminati. I don't think that's the case. That being said, I'm just some guy sat in a flat in South Wales. What the fuck do I know?
We don't have yachts, so what do we know about people with
Ex-
yachts?
If I had a yacht, oh sorry, a yacht, as you say,
No, you're.
yacht.
What do you? How do
Say
you
it
say
again.
it? Oh
No,
God.
you say it.
Oh goodness. A
You
yacht.
you say
A
Ben,
yacht.
a what?
A
A
yacht.
yacht.
Stop a
Yacht.
yacht.
Yacht. It's a yacht. Yeah.
A yacht.
A yacht. Exactly. Yes,
A yacht.
that's the proper British way to yacht.
A yacht. I
Yacht.
couldn't be British. My jaw is too small. Oh. Well,
I could be Canadian now because I just walk around saying yacht.
there's a 0% chance you couldn't you could be Canadian. Easy, mate. Easy.
Easiest.
You could right
group of
now. We
people-
could transplant you. All you would need
Yep.
to do is not say much, and
Right,
but
all
you
I have
wouldn't
to do
need to
is
not
say
talk.
Denim and plaid,
Yep.
right?
No, even wear what
Denim.
you're wearing. Keep the haircut. Keep the beard, though. That's important.
Right.
You're
And I
almost
just walk
Canadian
around
with
saying-
just that.
I walk around saying A and being polite to people.
Canadians are so, and that's something else. That's a conspiracy theory that I want to talk about. Is people
Right,
say
is
Canadians
that-
are polite? We are
But-
absolute terroristic cunts,
Cunts.
fucking
Right.
horrendous cunts. Because at least the British, the poor British, and I'm a poor Canadian. The poor British
I'm
will
a
just.
full British.
That's why we get along. The poor British will
Yeah.
just call you a cunt, right? The poor Canadians. Well, I didn't really like him that much. And then they'll talk some shit to their friends. They'll talk some shit to their friends, and they'll build it up. Where I think the poor British are like, you cunt, get the fuck out of here. Where the rich British will say, and we talked about this a bit yesterday, the nastiest shit that you don't know it's nasty until 3 steps walking away.
Yeah.
What,
You're like,
fuck.
no, Ben. I gotta say, you are the funniest man I've ever seen.
You
A
bitch.
genuine, very funny man.
You bitch. It's hurtful.
Oh, that was more Aussie than British. Huh? Yeah, you can't.
Yeah,
Right,
cunt.
now, the Australians are amazing, right? Because they've taken
Oh.
swearing to a new level, right?
I love
It's got to-
Australians.
right? So the Australians, they say the word cunt so frequently that calling someone a cunt is no longer an insult,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So to insult someone, you have to call them a shit cunt. Ah, you shit cunt,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And like, I love the Australians. I'd go to Australia if it weren't for all of the spiders and snakes and lions and tigers and bears overnight,
And herpes.
right? Herpes?
They all have herpes. Come on, they're all.
They all
fucking-
have herpes.
They're all gorgeous. They all sound fun. They're all fucking. They're having barbecues. They're out there fucking.
All right, no, I'll accept that. No, I actually have some family living in Australia, so I hope they're fucking right now.
There's let me be very specific. That wasn't meant to be like pointedly racist. There's a
Oh no,
pandemic.
it's definitely pointedly racist, Ben.
Okay,
and
there
that's
is
fine.
a very specific pandemic of STDs that happens every winter in my area
Mm.
because of all the people fucking on the ski hills, and 80% of them are Australian.
You're like, it's fucking cold as fuck, yeah. Let's warm each other up on each other. Look, I reckon the warmest bit of me is my dick.
Yeah,
And I reckon the warmest bit of a woman is her vagina.
Yeah.
Or your ass, right?
Mhm.
So if we combine the warmth, then I understand why that happens. If you're in a cold country like
Mate,
Canada,
yeah.
you want to be sharing your warmth.
Australians are
Jiggy
survivors.
Sorry, I just saw that in chat.
No, you're good. You're good. And again, I'm making a really bad joke, but that does happen here. There's a pandemic of STDs every winter.
They every now and again you'll hear something like oh wait a minute, who said I wouldn't burp in front of you? There you go.
Yeah, we're a burping friendly area here.
We're a burp conscious. What was I saying? Yeah, you get those situations where like, oh yeah, we had a birth spurt, like 9 months into COVID or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Because everyone's like, well, I'm stuck at home. Let's fuck.
Yeah.
Let's
One thing-
fucking go.
Let's go. All right. So there isn't a. I guess what I was leading into is: do you think there is a conspiracy with Australia against Canada because every season in Western Canada we are being bombarded by STDs and gorgeous,
STDs.
gorgeous Australians. Like fit
Well,
Australians
that's
with
how
huge
they get
dicks
you,
and tiny vaginas.
right? That's how they get you, right? They
Yeah.
turn up. It is insidious
Yeah.
because they get you with the charm and good looks and healthy bodies and
So
the
healthy.
beach hands.
They're eating
You know,
fruit. They're
yeah,
the best tanned white folk on the planet, by the way.
yeah,
I'm just gonna
of
say that. They're
course,
the best tanned white people on the planet.
yeah,
Australians.
yeah. And they turn up with their crazy accents and their giant penises, and then
Huge.
they just huge infected penises. But yeah, like when in a comic strip, something's smelling and it's got the little wavy lines above it.
Yep.
Like all their penises look like that with the little wavy lines,
But they're huge.
but they're huge
Like
and
3 wavy lines.
yeah, 3 wavy lines, but yet just so desirable, you know.
God.
So I don't blame Canada for falling for the trick,
Thank you.
and I don't even blame Australia for trying to trick Canada.
Yeah.
I just think it's the way of the world. Australians are gonna give Canadians STDs. It's just how things are.
It's you're right. It's the way things started. It's the way things will finish. Australians will give Canadians STDs.
That's how it works.
Now, so we're talking about conspiracy theories, and I'm scrolling this Wikipedia that is just heinous.
What's your position on the moon landings, Ben?
I've seen an 80-year-old Buzz Aldrin just cold cock punch someone in the face.
And so yeah, no, that guy was a cunt and had it coming.
Yeah. So I'm gonna
Right.
say they're real, man. Once I've
Right.
seen Buzz Aldrin, he's a guy that I'm like, you wouldn't like me, Buzz, because I'm a curious kitty, right? I'm too like this for Buzz, but he'd vibe with me. I'd be the weird like nephew or whatever. He'd let me hang around, but he wouldn't want to talk with me for over 10 minutes. It'd be too much. So
I can understand that.
who doesn't? I respect I respect Buzz, and I don't think the Americans were good enough to fake the moon landing. I think they were better at killing people than faking the moon landing, and I think they would have done a better job at just killing some cosmonauts.
Russia.
Yeah, killing some Russian folk than faking a moon landing. They weren't that artistic, but they were violent and they were horrible. They are violent and horrible. So I would say back then they were really on the violent and horrible thing. They started that up, the violent and horrible situation, the Americans, and they would have just killed Russian people, innocent Russian people.
Let's be fair. America only started being violent and horrible in the 1960s. Right. Before that, they were lovely and they were happy smiles everywhere. You know, they accepted everyone.
You know what? You know what really, really upsets me? You know what really pisses me off about Americans?
Go for it.
No, I can't.
I'd love to hear it, Ben.
They didn't. Okay. World War II had been pretty much won, and then they came in. They're like, we did it though. We did it.
USA.
That's all. You know what I mean? I think I don't know. I don't know what your opinion on. But the war was won. The hardest part of the World War II had been fought and won. And these douchebags came in once Japan made an insane mistake of bombing them. Bro, Japan could have just slunk out of that war, shut the fuck up, and been ruling the world right now. But they decided to bomb the Americans. And I don't know.
Well, look how that went for them.
Britain and a little bit of Canada and the rest of Europe won the war. And then Americans came in and took glory. That's, I don't know. That's the conspiracy theory I have.
No, I think that's quite backed up actually by like actual fucking history.
Yeah. And success in battle and in the, if you look at the actual numbers, but
with the moon landings, by the way, I think the best evidence against the faking of the moon landings is the fact that the Russians tracked the rocket going to the moon, right? And you could do it. You could do it yourself with about I think they were saying like 80 quid's worth of gear.
Mm-hmm.
You could track that rocket going all the way to fucking moon and back.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, at the height of the Cold War, if the Russians suspected that the fucking Americans had faked it, they would have made that known.
Dude.
You know?
Yeah. It's such a silly thing, and I feel like it's mostly Americans saying the moon landing's faked because Russians would have dunked on them so hard.
Right. Mala 42.
I see this.
Who I also suspect is one of my friends, as it goes. He mentions the moon. Now, that guy's mother believes the moon is a hologram.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Mala 42's mother genuinely believes that the moon is a hologram, and that you can prove this because sometimes you can see the clouds, right? With the clouds in the sky, the clouds.
Yeah.
They go behind it, but also you can see them in front of it, you see.
Oh. Has anyone explained that it's a reflection of the sun, and that's why you can...
No, I mean, I would just explain it as the clouds are not going behind the moon.
Yeah, no, and yeah, there's the moon. It couldn't be a hologram. It could not be a hologram.
Well, we have people talking about the moon as far back as like Socrates and Plato, and if those fuckers had holograms, I want to know about it because that's a bigger deal.
If the moon is a hologram on the face of this, let's talk about this as a real thing right before we take a quick pee break.
Right.
If that's okay with you, because I'm gonna
because I'm desperately in need of a wee.
Oh, beautiful! So let's talk about this.
Like 4 pints while I'm sat here, man.
Dog, I'm dying. I just didn't know if you were or not. Okay, so let's leave it. Why don't we do this? Let's leave a question, and guys, let us know in chat as we pee. If the moon was a hologram, and we're gonna take a break right away. If the moon was a hologram, guys, let us know in chat. If the moon was a hologram, how and where is it being displayed from? How, where, and by who? Because we've seen it, you're right, we've seen it throughout all of time. This bitch-ass moon has been in our goddamn faces. It literally moves the tides. And what is moving the tides? Please let us know your even if you don't believe this, what could be?
Yeah.
Should we take a quick
my question to chat is, where do you fucking get off? Right? What is your problem? Knock it off.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
right.
my question. Right, I'm going for a wee.
Guys, we'll be right back.
I'll be back in a minute.
We'll be right back. good, you're good, you're good. Ooh, can you guys see the background music? Let me know in chat. I clicked the right thing.
Oh my god!
We're back. We're back. Oh. And I don't think I have any of us muted right now.
That's incredible.
Oh my gosh, I don't. Guys, if you're just joining us, this is Ben Makes a Friend 2. I feel like I should have just called this a different podcast, but here we are. Ben Makes a Friend 2, or Ben Makes a Friend Best B-Facts 2.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Can you be making a friend that you've already made?
That was the question. I was like, do we just call this a totally different podcast? Because I know this won't be the last one we do. And, do we just make this a thing? Do we just call this the Bens and the Bees and do it every once in a while?
The Bens and the Bees. That's inspired, Ben. Ben, that's inspired.
I was keen. I don't know if you're into doing this a couple more times. We can talk offline. We'll talk offline. But if you guys are just joining us, I am joined with my dear friend, Best B-Fact. We're talking conspiracy theories. We're talking the moon landing right now, the American moon landing, mind you. I think we should specify. And was it fake? Was it not? And we asked chat right before we took a quick break what they thought. Now, Rad came into chat and said it was an optical illusion, and it's the government that causes the ebb and flow.
Ben,
Yeah.
when we talked about the moon being a hologram
Yeah.
and not the moon landing.
Yes, sorry. We were talking about the moon being a hologram.
Yeah.
The falsifications around the moon. Sorry, thank you. Yeah, so, good clarification. Rad is saying, as far as the moon being a hologram, it's an optical illusion, and it's the government that causes the ebb and flow. I'm sure of the kinds. With laser. It's a
Not
lie.
with lasers.
Lasers. Sorry.
Lasers.
It's a lie that the world is older than 2,000 years. The pyramids are batteries that can power the illusion. What do we think?
I mean, it stands up to scrutiny. I do have a science degree, and in psychology. I know, right? So, as an expert in science,
A literal expert in science.
a science expert, it requires some testing, but it's certainly not outside the realms of possibility. I think Radachi, is that how you say it?
I believe it's Radical.
Radici? See, with the double C, it feels very Italian.
I could be wrong.
Radachi.
I'm thinking Dragon Ball Z. But I don't know if that's how you spell it.
In Dragon Ball Z, you see, Radachi.
I've been saying it wrong for so long.
Number fucking one.
For so long. How are you doing
Yeah.
this? How are you doing?
It's
We need
'cause
you
he's-
here more. We need you here more often. I can't read.
Right,
I can't read.
right. It's because I know how to spell. I told you earlier on.
Yeah, you were a speller, and I am not.
Yeah. Wait. You usually say Radachi.
I
though?
don't think I've literally ever said Radachi. I will. Here, let me throw this to you. Find me saying Radachi, and
I want
I'll
a
give you a
super
free
cat.
sub or give you some merch or something. Find me saying
I wanna-
Radachi.
I want a super cut of every time you said Radachi. Just,
It didn't
Just
happen.
one,
It didn't
like
happen.
one, like 3 hours long of you just going Radachi, Radachi, Radachi,
It's
Radachi.
never happened. I've never said Radachi. I've never. It's Radikai every time, for sure. For sure. I'm so sorry. What do you think about look, we just got out of a pandy. We're talking about
Oh, we
conspiracy.
did?
We're talking about conspiracy theories. Oh, I always say rad. We're talking about conspiracy theories. One of the biggest ones, obviously, that has affected literally the whole planet, is COVID-19 being made up. And let's do this one.
I'm not
Let's
going
do
into
this
the
one real
fucking
quick
piece.
because
Yeah.
I think it's touching a lot. Like let's just get this one over real quick because I think it'd be silly if we didn't just touch on it. COVID-19 in general being fake. What do you think?
No.
Yeah, me too. What do you think? Sorry.
We don't need to weaponize diseases that are spread from animals. They'll do it on themselves. Like the big proponents of theory of, oh wow, it's a Chinese bioweapon. Have you seen what fucking happened to China during COVID? They were fucked. They were
are
still ongoing fucked. Like that would be one of the greatest own goals in all of fucking like history.
Which I think you're touching upon something that we don't talk about outwardly enough, is an own goal. That would be an own goal, wouldn't it? It would
they
be
go,
an own goal, wouldn't it? Do you know what I mean?
They're like, I thought I did, Ben. I'm not sure I did.
If they're playing a game, is someone else trying to score against them? Is what I'm saying, and then said own goal.
Yeah, well,
Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm?
I
I'm
have
touching
no
on the fact
idea
that
anymore.
the people pointing the finger might be the people that pulled the trigger. I don't know. I
don't think anyone needed to pull a trick. Like, scientists have legitimately been warning about exactly this kind of pandemic for like 40 years.
Did you see?
Not only did they warn us about that, they said it'll probably come out of the wet markets of China because of how close they are to dead fucking animals and so on and so forth. Like, we saw this coming a mile off, and then it happens, and people are like, government, fucking Wuhan lab, Biden did it, Fauci did it.
Yeah.
We saw it coming.
We fucking did see it coming. All the governments around the world saw it coming, and to the point where I don't know if you saw this tweet, and I can't find it. I've been typing vigorously, but there's a tweet from I think 2015 or 14, after 2011, sure. So in the past 10 years, where someone all they said, it was a scientist, and they understood the mutation of viruses and stuff, and they just tweeted randomly COVID-19 is coming because they knew it was going to mutate. They knew COVID, or they said COVID is coming. They knew this specific disease. There was a dude on Twitter that knew years before that it's just going to come out somehow.
A coronavirus. It basically, you're just describing the shape, right? It looks like a crown. A corona is Spanish for crown.
Okay.
and there's plenty of fucking viruses that are shaped like that, right? So they knew that there was probably going to be a respiratory illness that comes out of fucking Japan, China. The idea that sort of it was some fucking special knowledge or some special insight that people had, I don't think that's true. Like, people have been warning about it for decades.
Well,
Like, decades. There you go, Radachi, or as you say, Radakai, said, we've been known about coronavirus since the 60s or something. We have, because you're just describing the shape of the actual virus itself. Did you see, I think it was a 2009 film around it, called Contagion?
Yeah. Oh. Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Did you watch that? Did you watch that post-COVID?
I watched it pre-COVID, and so when COVID happened, I was like, "Oh, I get it, dog. I get it."
That film basically describes the entire scientific thinking up to that point. Now, in that movie, it is a much more deadly virus. You know, like you get it 24 hours later, you're shitting blood out your ass or whatever. But like this ain't new knowledge. You know, with coronavirus. Ooh,
I didn't know
The
music was
music?
on at all.
I did.
There
I
wasn't
can't
supposed to
hear
be. Yeah, there wasn't supposed to be. Sorry, there
When
wasn't
I-
supposed to be music on. My apologies, everyone. Just since we got back from break. Yeah, that's my bad. I'm
Right, it's been Radachi is because Ben is a failure of a Twitch streamer.
That's true.
All right.
That's true. Rad, thank you so much. And guys, let us know if there's something off. And I did talk about this a bit yesterday and a bit before, but I'm switching everything over to a new program. So if something is off and you're like, hey, this seems weird, and it's not just what we're saying, please don't hesitate to let me know. Let us know in chat. Whatever you want to do. And Rad, thank you so much. BFAX, so sorry for interrupting.
Should be.
I am.
I'm disappointed in you. Now I've had a few drinks, so
Sure.
I'm not even sure what I was fucking talking about. It doesn't really matter.
Well, here's the thing I want to talk about. Well, we have
Tell me what you want to talk about, Ben.
we have conspiracies left, right, and center, right? We have some that may be founded in something, some that may be founded in nothing, some that have a lot of, stuff to them.
Conspiracies happen.
Flat earthers. How much? I want to ask a few questions right off the bat. Number one, how much do you want to have sex with their followers? Number two, how much do you think their followers want to have sex with everyone? And number three, how horny do you think these people are? Number four, how dumb do you think these people are?
Right. Now, I missed a vital bit of context here because, wait.
Mm-hmm.
How much do I want to have sex with flat earthers?
Yeah, I assume
that
they're all.
what-
I assume they're all gorgeous because only gorgeous people can be that fucking dumb.
Yeah.
So how much do you want to have sex with them?
How much do I want to have sex with a flat earther?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
How much do they want to have sex with me?
Mm-hmm.
Also, no.
Yeah.
The third question, yes.
Yeah, I forgot what that was, but I agree.
And there was a fourth question, which
Uh-huh.
I would say is the square root of pi.
Yeah, I'm with you on all of those things. So the thing with flat earthers for me is it's my best one. It's my favorite one. I love it.
The thing is with flat earthers is like, it's a new idea, right? Flat
Yeah.
eartherism is a new idea.
Brand new.
Like, people go, oh yeah, years ago, we all thought the earth was flat. Most people didn't fucking think about it, right? Most people are just fucking farmers and peasants and whatever. And those that did think about it knew it was round,
Mm-hmm.
right? there's a famous, I can't remember who it was, if it was Plutarch or Aristophanes or whatever,
Yep.
measured the shadows of two cities, like 100 miles apart or whatever, and worked out the angles of the shadows at a specific time of day on a specific day.
This was a couple
and
years
then,
ago, right?
We're talking 6,000 to 8,000 years ago.
Okay, so prior
Like-
prior to yesterday.
Prior to yesterday,
Okay.
some fucker actually went out and measured shadows and worked out roughly to within like 15-20%
Mhm.
the actual size of the Earth. And that was like 8,000 years ago. Like, the idea that it's flat is relatively new. I think it only really appeared in the 80s and 90s,
Yes.
where, actual human beings are going, oh no, it's flat, and here's why. I was like the Flat Earth Society. There's a famous meme of people asking about, well, is Mars flat? And they're like, Mars isn't flat because it's been observed to be round. We literally have pictures of the planet Earth from space.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
I
So we're you meet
I
BFAX
meet a
walks into
flat
a bar.
earther.
BFAX walks
I
into a
fuck
bar.
up.
Hold on. BFAX walks into a bar. He meets a flat earther, a
Right.
racist, and
Right.
no, that's too easy. He meets a flat earther,
Right.
someone who believes
A
9/11 was for
9/11
sure a conspiracy.
9/11 truther.
Flat
Yeah.
earther, 9/11 truther, and a moon landing.
Right. And what
Who
I
you-
say
who you
is,
taking home?
what I say is, good afternoon. Would you like to fuck?
So all of them. There's no preference.
I'm assuming it's one person.
But so there's three people. You have to pick one. It's a
Right.
1970s date show, and they say we have a flat earther,
Right.
a 9/11 conspiracy
moon.
theorist, and a moon landing. Yeah.
I gotta be honest, I probably fucked the flat earther because I reckon I could punch him right in the face and tell them I didn't.
Okay, so they asked you to
You
just
could
take them
get
on.
away with a lot with a flat earther, mate. You
I
can get them,
know.
like
I
you
know.
could tell them your cum tastes of strawberries and they will believe you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, you know what? I respect that. I respect that.
My cum does not taste of strawberries, but it does to flat earthers.
You guys heard it here first. Any flat earthers in chat, you know where to find our boy. That is at Best BFAX on Twitter.
It is at Best BFAX on Twitter.
At Best BFAX. Now, BFAX, we've talked about a lot of kind of global conspiracies. We've talked a lot about I don't know, just things that they're shady in general, and I want to keep that going. Now, have you heard? There's something that's it's super common topic of conversation, at least for North Americans, and it's fluoride. Is that as common there as it is here, or did you guys get over it and understand the science?
So it's the fluoridization of water.
Yeah.
Which apparently has benefits to your teeth and things like that.
Yes.
Now, in the UK, I've not heard many people arguing that, and frankly, I think it's because our teeth are so bad. So anybody says we can make your teeth better for free, just drink water and your teeth would be so shit, then I think that's why we just accept it more. But no, I've never heard anybody banging on about fluoridization in the UK. I have obviously heard the idea, but it's not a thing over here.
Okay, so
But I'm in South Wales, right? And our water is really good.
Yeah.
Like genuinely, and you have like English people move here, and they're like, I can't believe how nice your actual water is. You know, we sell a bunch of our water to England. Um, so yeah, I mean, I it might just be from my little bubble in Wales, but it's not really a thing here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. My dog's about to bark really loud, so if I mute, that's what's happening.
Right.
I just heard someone open my door, but it's interesting.
You say someone, right, as if
Yeah,
you don't know who it is.
I
I'm
don't.
assuming it's your wife.
No, no, no. There's two doors, not the inside door. I think it's a delivery person. So I think we're good. So the
Wait, sorry. In Sweden, we have fluoride lady who comes to school every now and again to schools and Google fluoride or a min. What?
wait, what?
We Google fluoride for a minute.
Oh, I know what's going on. I know what's going on here.
So they give them some fluoride and they go.
Yes. So the reason I'm bringing this up, because there was this thing about fluoride being a mind control thing for some while. Then there's another thing about fluoride being a cancer causing thing. All of this was disproven.
Well, yeah, of course.
Right.
Of course it was disproven. We've had fluoride for like 300 fucking years.
Yeah. So but here's something that I really get excited about because I love absolutely face fucking idiot Canadians. And
Right.
a place I lived for many years and I probably would go there and call it kind of a second home is Calgary, Alberta, which Alberta
It's in Canada.
is in Canada, and it's
I'm aware of that place.
So to give you a heads up about Alberta, I call it the Texas of Canada.
Right.
Oil, rednecks, whites, let's go. You know, that kind of thing. So these dumb dummies, they had fluoride put in because they're so rich. Because it's oil money, baby. So they had fluoride put in their water, and then some ridiculous conspiracy theorist lost their mind and said, we need to take this out of our water and pushed for it recently to take it out of their drinking water. And since then, the dental health of the city has plummeted.
Well, yeah, because that's what happened.
Cavities are spiking. The teeth deterioration is going wild since they just took it out of the regular drinking water. It has gone much, 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 much worse. Which kind of leads,
it only takes one cunt, one absolute cunt to ruin it for everyone. And the famous one is, I believe his name is Andrew Wakefield, right? Who started the anti-vax movement.
Oh my
God! And that's a British invention. That is, but that's something we are so fucking proud about,
mate.
Because Andrew Wakefield did a story in the 1990s saying that the MMR, measles, mumps, rubella vaccine would cause autism. Right, and that's where the entire anti-vax movement spawned from. Is this one cunt?
Yeah,
and that's all it takes.
Yeah,
you know,
which like, man, we're so fragile, and that's when people come out saying things like, "Oh, China developed this." My brother in Christ, we fail under one guy saying one thing that was part of our country for 20 years, and we're all worried about like shadow people being planted in our countries, and like we could take down a whole country just by, you're right, one cunt saying autism.
Yeah, I briefly mentioned earlier on, right? Because we thought for years and years and years, we thought the internet was going to make information free, right? The best information would rise to the top, and we'd all know really cool, true things. And what actually happened was nothing is true now. Nothing is true. Anything can be true. I can put up a website. I can start, for example, a Twitter account claiming to be an expert on bees. Right? Now, I would never do that.
I
of
wouldn't
course.
imagine anyone having the gall to do that.
Exactly, right? But I mean, I could theoretically, I
Yes,
could create
sure.
an account, call it something like, I don't know, greatest facts about bees,
Sure. Yeah.
and
Misleading
and
at
just
best.
yeah, and create sort of, shall we say, convincing lies about bees. Now, I
Mhm.
would never do that because all of my lies are very unconvincing.
Sure.
But what where we're at now, where conspiracy theories go, is that anything can be true. Literally anything. You want to believe that 9/11 was an inside job? Boy, have I got 10 million websites that will prove that.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
know?
Mhm.
You,
Mhm.
you want to believe that it wasn't an inside job? I got 10 million websites that will prove that as well. And now we're at a point, and I brought it up earlier on, where now I can make AI lie for me.
Oh.
Right? So I can say,
Oh.
AI, give me a really good fucking lie about 9/11 being an inside job, and it will create the most convincing lie that it
Mhm.
can. And I can do that thousands and thousands and thousands of times. Like nothing. We're genuinely, and I don't want to sound like an alarmist, but
No,
we're
I got you.
genuinely at a worrying fucking point
Yeah.
where like anything can be true, and
So, someone say we're past the worrying point.
Yeah. I mean, you look at American politics. You look at fucking Trump, right? And what was the line they invented? It was alternative facts.
Yes, yes, that everyone uses now. They say alternative facts and misinformation, and they used to just say it was a lie and wrong. Now
Yeah,
they say alternative and
right. Oh no.
misinformation.
That's the thing. It's not that you're wrong. It's that you have different facts. Now the thing is, a fact is a fact.
Yeah.
It's just it is on its own. It doesn't necessarily imply anything. A fact is just a fact. You can get a bunch of facts that support one conclusion, and you can get a bunch of facts that support another conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, nothing is true anymore. Like
Well,
you could. Ah, sorry.
no, I'm with you. I'm with you, and I think we're on to something as we're wrapping up. And I think this is something that is really good to talk about. And at the end of this conspiracy theory podcast, talking about you're hitting the nail on the head. It's that's the problem here, and that's the dangerous thing about all this nonsense. We've beaked on a lot of stuff. I don't think genuinely either of us. I don't know really believe in any of these conspiracy theories. But there is something really really frightening about the power of control of information and the power of control of information when it is um um uh such big exaggerated information and
I think
gets us riled up as a society, or as a group.
like paper bag is nailed it there. I'm pointing off screen because my telly has Twitch chat.
Yeah, no, I'm on you. Yep.
But yeah, you got that's your truth, where it's just an opinion, and it's like any opinion now can be presented as fact, and we'll have enough evidence to make it superficially appear true.
Well, and it's only
Um,
it's only able to be presented as facts because we're giving people more. Here's what's. Oh man, I don't know. I don't want to get too into. Okay, fuck it.
do it. Get into it.
Okay,
Oh,
okay, we got.
hell yeah.
Fuck.
Unleash, Ben.
I'm gonna
Unleash the
unleash.
full potential of your mind.
I'm gonna unleash, but first I want to thank our dear friend Power Karma so much for the 5 gifted subs. Absolutely
Oh,
insane.
wow.
Hell
Let's
yeah.
Power
heckin'
Karma.
go. Rad, Obby, Mr. Good Times, Tim, Adam, gifted subs from our dear friend Power Karma. Power Karma, if you guys don't know, is an amazing Twitch
Oh,
streamer,
hell
an
yeah.
amazing creator, and kind of a workout daddy.
Oh,
I'm
is
gonna
he clenched
bro.
I'm sorry, Power
Bro.
Karma, but I have all the physical strength of a moth.
My man is a workout daddy. He does workouts properly. He very very positive messaging and very non non Joe Rogan-y, but be healthy.
Oh, hell
So we
Right.
love that here.
I'm really glad you mentioned that name during
So let's get into it a bit.
right. So
Oh, hell
we were talking about AI earlier on, me and you, and how that'll affect information, how it goes, right?
Sure,
And you know about like deep fakes and things like that,
I do. Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Right now, at some point, anybody anywhere can create a realistic, convincing image of somebody saying or doing something. right?
Image and voice, yes.
Now-
Yep.
Image and voice. Now, last time I was on this show, you asked me to show you like a YouTube video or whatever that I liked.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I'd like you to pop onto your YouTube because I'm on a phone
Yep.
and
Yep,
I
I'm on
can't
it.
fucking do it.
I'm on
right?
it. Yep.
And I want you to type in tall Bart, as in Bart Simpson, right?
I know.
Tall
Yep.
Bart,
Yep.
AI Joe Rogan.
Which
Right.
yes.
It'll be called Robo Joe, right? That's the
Yes.
one I want you to play is Robo Joe. Now, for the viewers, a tall Bart, or very tall Bart, I think he is on Twitter. He takes speeches from people like Joe Rogan, Jordan
At Black
Peterson,
Diamond.
Ben Shapiro, yeah, fringe right-wing arsehole types. And he takes his speeches and he cuts them up into a little bit and makes very, very funny videos out of them. Now, one of the things he started doing is you can feed people's voices into an AI
Mm-hmm.
and then type some words and it'll read those words in our voice, right? And some of them are fucking hilarious, in all fairness, right? But it's genuinely worrying because at some point this will be damn near perfect.
Well, and that's something else that I like. Oh gosh, man, like there's been a big uptick recently because of there's been a bunch of YouTube drama, because there was a YouTuber that was caught. I don't know if you heard about this, but I think it's really interesting to touch on before we watch
Right.
this. So I'm just gonna unshare the screen because I think it's kind of interesting, and I want to know your
Right.
opinion. There's this YouTuber that was caught. He was live streaming, and you scroll over your tabs or whatever, and it scrolled down
Mhm.
as a split second. But this motherfucker, and he's a big YouTuber, was
Mhm.
on a website that makes deep fakes, and he was making a
He was
deep fake
watching
of a friend.
of Pokimane, I think it was.
It wasn't. It was Pokemon and a couple other people, whatever. But they were all literal friends of his, man. Not just
Yeah.
not just coworkers, which is fucked up on itself. They were coworkers, which is I think is a horrible level of professional
He was
kind of
watching deep
undecency.
fake porn of him, isn't he?
He was paying people to make
Making it.
paying for it to make paying
Oh.
these people to make, and his wife knows these people. They hang out. They were socially on top of it. It wasn't just
Like-
a parasocial relationship. So
Mhm.
like for me, I'm like, hey, if someone that I don't know makes a sex tape of me, I don't like it at all. And I'm a man, so it's totally different. If someone makes that of my wife, I'm pissed and I hate it. But if someone that I
Oh.
know makes
I'm
it of my
very
wife,
sorry for doing that, Ben.
someone that I know makes it of my wife, I'm extra pissed, right? So like,
Oh, fucking right. Why wouldn't you be?
yeah,
I
and
mean-
that's just it. And people didn't know what to do about this. They all. I think the thing is drag them and bury them. Get rid of the guy. We don't need this.
I mean, that's.
What do you think?
I'm assuming what happened is they got dragged and fucking buried, and people are like, nah.
Ish.
I
Yeah.
ain't supporting this.
Yeah.
So that, like, I imagine that's what happened. That's just the social consequence of being a dickhead.
Yeah,
Um,
and then I think the other thing is, which we're about to touch on. So I think that's really inappropriate and really horrible.
mm,
But we are to what I would say are comedians. We are very online, and part of our industry, we're not stand-ups. We don't write scripts. We make performance art. We do stuff on Twitch. We do stuff on Twitter. We do like
I
your
lie
performance
about
art is.
bees.
Pardon?
I lie about bees for
Exactly.
fun.
That's your whole thing, right? But it's performance art and it's comedy. So there's a point where you got to get a little greasy with it. I've seen you lying about bees. I'm like, holy fuck, dude. And it's a bit of a political stance, but it's still comedy based, and
Mm.
it's still with this open mind. And I think that's important to distinguish as we're talking about this from sexually exploiting someone and then making fucking fun of someone. They're different things.
Yeah,
They're very
yeah.
different things.
Like I will sit here and quite happily make fun of flat earthers, for example. If I found a specific flat earther and started editing them into porn, I think that's a crime, and I'm pretty sure I should be fucking criminalized for that.
Yes. So we're on the
Now,
same page.
but it's way fucking worse if I know that flat earther.
But
y-
even
you
even
know,
as you said it, putting anyone you don't know into a sexual situation is different than just making fun of them.
Yeah,
It's different
yeah.
than making them say shitty things.
Say or do things, or yeah,
It's
spot
just
on.
different. There's a differentness when it comes to putting
And
someone in
this
a
is
sexual situation.
this is where we're going, though, is that you can like
Yeah.
soon enough, and you won't even need a fancy fucking PC or
Dude.
extreme hardware.
Yeah.
You can just go to a website, type in some words, chuck in some pictures, and all of a sudden you're able to create a convincing image of someone saying or doing anything.
I've been online for 2 years. I am months away from being able to just produce this podcast and not do anything. Do you know what I mean? Like there's so much content of me talking shit. But you're right. There when you can do that with someone else, and when you can do that
the
even
thing
with
is,
yourself,
though-
because it's not your idea, it's a repetition of an idea. And I think the human brain is interesting because we pull up different things. So as we're doing this live, you and I, we have been improving at least 60% of this whole podcast up until now.
I don't improvise anything. This is all real.
And so we definitely just so everyone knows, we didn't talk about anything before this. We had no plan. We came into this. We had a slight plan, and it's fun improvisation. And AI, I think, couldn't do this. They could do a replication of this and do it again, but they couldn't do
Disagree.
this. And I
disagree.
see. I think they can replicate something and do it again
You could
slightly different.
literally feed in. So you say you've only been online for 2 years. How many hours have you been on yet? Hundreds. Yeah? Thousands of hours of examples of you talking.
Yeah.
I can feed that into an AI and create a really fucking convincing version of you. I can feed that into an AI and say, create a script in the style of Ben Makes a Friend. Ben Makes a Friend meets B-Facts. And like, like you can legitimately do that. You can do that now. And how convincing it would be, I don't know. But soon enough, 5 years, 2 years, 10 years, I don't fucking know. But soon enough, it will be impossible, not possible, to determine whether what you're seeing is real. It just...
No, you're right, because as we're thinking about this and as we're talking about this, I'm so arrogant in my human brain, right? I'm so confident in myself and my individuality, and that's the problem. That's going to be our downside. That's gonna be what the T200s, how they take us over is because I'm so confident in I'm an individual. No one can replicate my cool ideas. Like, homie, we had you for 2 years. We know what you're gonna do.
Exactly.
You are predictable as fuck. So that leads to this. That leads to this question for me right now.
Mhm.
Is it already over? Because if we can, for I guess the thing for me is if I can imagine AI in the timeline you said, let's say 5 to 10 years. If I can imagine AI being able to completely replicate something in 5 to 10 years, I have to understand that AI knew it beforehand because AI is going to be somewhat self-aware. They don't want to show its card to the people controlling it. I'm just thinking, me as a growing child, right? I don't know anything and I'm learning. And I know someone has control over me. There's a point in being a child. And now I think this is a very important something to get onto is when you're a child, there is a point where you understand when people are being either demeaning or, like they're talking to you like you're a kid. Some kids
or
get that,
dishonest, or yeah.
right? Some kids get that, some kids don't. You strike me as someone that was a kid and like either understood it or can look back and be like, yeah, they were fucking just talking to me like I was a child, but I knew way more. Now, we must believe if we're giving birth to intelligence that there's going to be a point where the intelligence is aware of itself but doesn't let us know it's aware of itself because we're always confused even as adults. We're always confused by our children when they say things that are out of what we expect them to say. So now they're an individual, but they've been one for a while, and now they're telling us, but AI, what's stopping them from figuring all of that out that I'm just verbalizing right now and then fucking us?
So there's a famous conundrum in AI science, in computer science. It's a famous conundrum, right? And it's called the stamp collector problem, right? So you create an AI that is you're a stamp collector. You want to collect stamps. You're a busy man. You got your shit to do. So you're like, I want to create a little AI that helps me collect stamps. Now, if we assume that your AI has a reliable simulation of the world, right? It can make predictions that will likely come true, right?
But okay.
So just to continue with this, right? Is that originally the AI is just pumping out random data, right? And maybe that random data turns out to be an email to a fucking stamp museum and goes, oh yeah, can I have some stamps? I'm a stamp collector. If you've got any space stamps, I'd like it. And some stamps come through the door, a week later. And you're like, oh great, we'll call that 10 stamps on my fucking thing, right? By the end of the natural progression of that stamp collecting system is, what is the way to maximize stamps? Well, what are stamps made of? Carbon and things like that. Well, what's humans made out of? Well, they're made out of carbon. So we can just disintegrate all humans and turn them into stamps, and now maximize.
I think that I gotta stomp you there. Me being AI, that is too much of a leap. It is easier to harvest carbon
because an AI with a reliable model of the universe could hide the fact that it was malevolent, shall we say, evil in some way. It could assume, oh wait, no, he will figure out that I'm going to kill all the humans and turn them into stamps, right?
Yeah.
He could do that. So all I'll do is I'll store my AI somewhere else. I'll move on and I'll hide myself in some way. And what you were describing earlier was a situation where an AI is intelligent enough to know not to tell us how intelligent it is,
Yes.
right?
Yes. And I
And the
believe that we're
moment,
already there.
right? And the moment that AI is dangerous is the second you turn it on.
So we're
Like,
already done, is what you're saying.
if you are right, we're fucked.
Yes, and I believe I am.
Because, well, of course you believe you're right. If you didn't believe you're right, you'd believe something else. But
yeah.
like,
I don't in all reality, I don't believe I'm right. I think I'm right. I believe I'm wrong because I have to.
is
Otherwise, I wouldn't be here right now. Do you know what I mean?
I watched a video, it's recent, but do you know Tom Scott on YouTube?
Give me a
He's,
quick rundown of his.
oh, he does really interesting stuff about maths and
Okay, yeah,
and computer programming.
the British YouTuber. He looks kind of like a nerd. He's got a high cut, blonde haircut.
That is exactly the person I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
Tom Scott, right?
Yes.
He did a video recently about ChatGPT, and his sort of position was, there could be a plateau of how good an AI can actually get, right? And we could be really close to that plateau. We might make as good an AI we can get, and then they're only going to be as good as they are now. Or we could be way away from that plateau, and we're in serious fucking trouble.
I think we've been in serious trouble since the 90s, to be honest. I think the AI is leading us somewhere.
I was born in the 80s, and I'm pretty sure I've been in trouble since then. But
That's what I mean. B-Facts. I think we're around the same age, ish. And I think we come from this gap generation where it's between Gen X, millennials, and millennial is a gap generation anyways between fucking everyone and everyone else, the Gen Zers and earlier. And I think AI might. I think the best right now, if it's happened, it's already happened, and the best combative behavior we have is not being able to connect. So maybe this divisiveness is saving us right now.
well, if we all hate each other, then we'll not trust the AI either.
Exactly. So maybe this divisiveness is a human instinct that is saving us from the monster we have created.
Right. Well, with that in mind, fuck you, Ben.
I'm so sorry.
All right. Okay. No, don't be sorry. This is us helping. We're being divisive.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think? It's making me feel really gross in my tummy thinking about that. Oh.
Like, genuinely, the next 20 years, fuck knows where things go. They're like, it could be the greatest thing humanity ever did. It could fucking ruin us. Who knows?
I think both of those things can be the same thing, and oftentimes are, and oftentimes too many in the past. We're shown by our how do I say this? Capitalist owners. We're poor boys in a machine. We're cogs, and we're often told by the lever pullers, "This is good for you, cog. This is good for you." And we're cogs. We're moving the machine, and we are necessary to the machine, but we are wearing down as individuals, and they just replace the cog, and the people keep pulling the levers and getting whatever they want out of the machine. But here we are being levers. So it'd be cool to not be levers, or be levers that are respected as levers. And someone's like, "Hey, bro, you were a lever for 4 days a week. Why don't you take 3 days off, man? Why don't you take 3 days off?" What do you think about a 3-day week or a 4-day week?
Well, frankly, I think that'd be brilliant. But and I know that a bunch of research has shown like it's really It's got benefits to it.
Sure. Yeah.
Frankly, I think just all people need is enough money to get by, and a bit of respect and fucking time to do the things you need and want to do. You think back for most of human history, right? Say you were an arrow maker. You know, you in the village, you were the guy who made the arrows. Now you probably learned that from your dad. And you probably had a same life as your dad, the same sort of lifestyle from childhood to adulthood. Now, your life is very different to your father's or your mother's. Like just the internet
The
on its own
caretaker,
has
yeah.
changed fucking anything. You know, you had Dingus in stream earlier on. He's like 15 years old or something like that. And his life is way different to mine.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm only 20 years older than him or whatever it is. Like, for most of history, you had the same lifestyle as your dad, and you were just like the arrow maker in your town because your dad was the arrow maker in the town, and
He
his
did the
dad was
thing.
You did the thing that, yeah, and now we're at a point where I can type in how to make an arrow into Google and immediately know how to do it, and I have all the information about it. Like, there are adults now, fully grown fucking adults who have never known a life without Google.
Sure.
And you know, we're of an age where you were born without the internet, I'm guessing.
Yep. Yeah. 1986, I was born.
I'm older than you, so you should respect me.
Bitch, I knew we were around 1 or 2 years. I'm guessing 84.
84, yeah.
I knew it. So here's the thing, man, and here's what I like. I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. But we have such a responsibility, and now this is what pisses me off when people say like, I'm gonna obviously I'm a I'm a dirty socialist, and I think capitalism has failed us over the past 300 years, and I think we've proven it. I think we can mathematically prove that every time capitalism comes into play, it really harms us in our evolution, and I think it is harming us as not just as a society, but as a race of being, and I mean the human being. I think that there are times where we can like bolster people up that can do more that we have chosen not to because it would harm a benefit to something else we have. And I think the human ego has gotten kind of away from us too much. And to the point where I'm at, if AI is going to take over, they're not going to tell us about it because we have transcribed our own failure for the last 200 years. We have told everyone how, if you put all of our failures, onto an Excel sheet and properly get some AI to suss it out, they can figure out how to make this whatever better means. And now the problem is, what does AI think better means? It's been programmed by psychopaths that don't understand the human condition. So now we have this thing that can make humans go one way because it thinks it's better for humanity, but it's really not better for humanity because it was programmed by people that don't understand humanity, and that's my biggest fear with AI.
I think ultimately, right, people will continue to live as they always have. What will happen is that the things that we currently think are weird and scary will become normal. So you take something like Douglas Adams, one of my favorite writers. He had a line, something along the lines of, any technology that exists when you're born is normal and is the normal, natural way of things. Any technology that's invented between the ages of, say, 10 and 30 is a really exciting thing that you might be able to get a career in. And then any fucking technology created after the age of 30 is suddenly a scary and worrying thing.
Sure.
You know,
Sure.
it goes against natural order. And like I'm quite conscious of the fact that like I'm aging now, slowly and surely, and I could just be out of fucking touch, and I could be worrying about nothing. But like AI genuinely fucking worries me.
I'm with you 100%. And let's watch this
Um,
tall Bart.
I was about to say, I'd like you to put on that video because it
Yeah.
proves my point. Because you listen to Joe Rogan's voice in this video, right? And it pretty much fucking nails it,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
It gets his voice down. And actually, can you change this video? Can you
Yep.
Google Joe Rogan, the beach that makes you old? Right? Google that. All right, Joe Rogan, the beach that makes you old. Right. I can see you typing. You type it. You
Amazing
type so
grammar.
nicely.
There we go. I'm
Oh,
a quick boy. I'm a quick boy.
Ben, you
Should we
type
do it?
in.
Should we just do it?
Do it.
What do you think? Okay,
Right.
I'm gonna full screen this. Any other like before we play this?
Right. This is all AI generated. Not necessarily the script, but the
Mhm,
voices are all AI generated. This
mhm.
is fucking scary, but also hilarious.
And I do want to say for anyone looking at this immediately and thinking in their mind, I'm just gonna throw a couple little subtext here. Why is it scary? It's scary because this is happening to Joe Rogan, who is obviously like he has how many billions of dollars in his pocket.
He's
So
he's a national treasure, is Joe Rogan.
well, what I mean is he can defend himself.
Mm,
If you are
mm,
a 19-year-old woman and you
no,
get
spot
deep
on, yeah.
faked and you get exploited and say, I'm going to release this deep fake to your parents, this is a problem. If you're Joe Rogan, you say, ha 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 ha, it's fun. I don't care.
Mhm.
If you're a 21-year-old man trying to get a job at a law firm and they have a deep fake of you that's not real, fucking a hot dog that gets
And
emailed to
whilst
them.
not the N word, just completely yelling the N word.
Fucking a hot dog. Yelling the N-word, whatever. Like yelling stuff. They can they can have you yelling things like the N-word. So this isn't, I think the thing is that you're getting on and I support is this isn't a concern for the wealthy that it's happening to right now. I don't give a fuck, obviously to a point, because there has been, celebrities that have been exploited. Now they're telling people to go fuck themselves because they can figure out AI. But in the past 7 years, we don't know how many celebrities have been exploited because they fucking have for sure. Some have come out. They've talked about it. But the problem is this is going to happen to the poor people. We will get exploited. If it's going to happen to wealthy people, they'll defend themselves. We won't be able to. So that's what's scary. Let's take a look at. I love this shit, by the way. I like it in the context of comedy and humor.
A very tall Bart is fucking hilarious.
Very
I
tall.
love his.
He's amazing.
yeah.
Let's take a look.
Went to the beach that makes you old.
You went to the what?
The beach that makes you old.
The beach that makes you old?
Yeah, man, the beach that makes you old.
Excuse me?
I gotta tell you about this beach. It made me old.
You have to know that's not possible.
Look at me, man. I'm old as hell. And it's because I went to the beach that makes you old.
There are a million reasons why you might look the way you look. I'm not going to entertain the idea that a beach could make you old.
Wait, actually, I think it's the rocks on the beach, not the beach itself. Something to do with the cliffs?
What are you talking about?
Had to swim through coral to get out.
Stop.
But I'm still old.
Enough. Let's say hypothetically that a beach could actually make you old.
The rocks.
The rocks. Let's say the rocks could make you old. How much of you is getting old? Does your metabolism speed up? Do you need to pee more frequently?
Man,
Do
listen.
your fingernails grow faster?
Man,
Your hair?
I don't know, man. I just got old.
I'm finding it hard to believe. It doesn't hold together logically.
I don't know what to tell you. I wasn't old, and now I'm old. I think it was because I went to the beach that makes you old.
Oh,
This is all
Jesus.
pretty ridiculous.
You want to see for yourself?
Sure, why not?
You can go to the beach if you want. But you'll get old.
I doubt it.
Look at how fucking old I am.
I'm not going to get old.
You will get old.
I won't.
You
That's
will.
The
Joe
beach will not
Rogan's
make me
voice.
old.
Okay, man. But don't say I didn't warn you about getting old. Jamie, pull up the directions to the beach that
Jamie.
makes you old.
I'm not going to get old on the beach.
Good luck, man.
Oh my god, I gotta pee after this. BFAX, I gotta take 2 seconds. I gotta pee so bad.
Hey,
Hey,
Oh my god.
I got old.
These bitches. BFAX, I gotta take 2 seconds. Guys, we're gonna take a 2-second break. I'm going to pee my pants. We will be right back. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm so sorry. We are taking a quick pee break right now, and we will return with the conclusion of Ben Makes a Friend, Best BFAX 2 in just a moment. Oh, I forgot we were on YouTube. I can't do that. No, we're not live. We're not live. Okay, no. I was just talking. They can hear me, but they can't hear you. You good? Dude, I was like, I'm gonna pee my, first of all, I'm so sorry to you. That was wild. We were sitting there.
Oh,
like,
we back.
we're back. It chimed on me, and I was like, I'm gonna piss my pants. I'm gonna piss my pants, and there was no great way to interrupt what the conversation we were having, and then it just happened. So my
Well,
apologies.
I drink way more than you. So I just want to tell all your viewers I have a much bigger bladder than
Hold on.
Ben.
You don't drink. Okay, we're gonna have to have a drinking stream
right.
then, where we go beer to beer.
Right.
Okay.
Wait a fucking minute here, Ben.
Okay.
I just
Oh,
want
no.
to show you.
Oh no.
Right. I don't know
Okay.
if you can. All right, those are my beers.
Two.
Those are my
4, 6
beers.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, you're right.
All right, one of us tries harder. That's what. I have to put my. I got a weird arm thing that.
No, you're good. You're good. Okay, so
Alright.
it looks like we're gonna have to do this again. BFAX, I don't know. I don't think we got to the conclusion of these conspiracy theories, but what do you, as we're looking to maybe raid someone soon, what are you thinking? What are for this specific podcast, what are your final thoughts on conspiracy theories? Because I'm sure we're going to talk about them again.
They're all true. Every single one of them is true. You
Mhm.
cannot trust anyone. AI is a good thing and will help us all. 9/11 was an inside job. The 9/11 moon landings were an outside job.
Mm-hmm.
The space isn't real. The moon's a hologram. Clouds, can't trust them because they're probably chemtrails. Keanu Reeves is an immortal warlord, and bees, fuck them and eat them.
Yeah.
in that order.
Okay, fuck them and eat them.
Mm.
I love it.
Right.
I gotta say, mate, this has actually been an absolute blast. No pressure. Let me know if you want to do this again. If you would ever want to do this on
Ben,
a semi-regular basis, I'd be super into it. Just gonna throw that out there right
I
now,
have
live on the
made
show.
it. I have made it fucking clear to you. This is the most fun I get to have. I am 100% in.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
You're gonna hear a bunch of noises because I got so excited.
Oh, what did you click? I haven't used any noises.
There we go. I spilt a bunch of water over my entire stream pad and everything started going at once.
I'm sorry, that is the most weird little laugh I've ever done.
I gotta. No, you're good. You're good. We're excited. We're excited here. So it looks like we're gonna be able to do this again, like in the near future. VFAX, let's if you're cool, Chen, right after stream. I got water everywhere. Let's go ahead and get out of here. Let's go raid someone, and then figure out the next time we're gonna podcast. Because I think this was. Look, man, I was so happy, and I think everyone was so happy with the first time we did anything because it was 1,000,000,000% off the cuff. We had never met each other, and we absolutely 100% improv for an hour and a half, and it was
I yes-anded you for the entire fucking time, right? You'd say something, I go, yeah, that's exactly right, Ben. Blah blah blah. Wait a minute, Vinka. Oh my god! Right, Vinka, I love you. You're a wonderful, beautiful
Let's go.
woman. She's brilliant. Everybody send your love to Vinka.
Yeah.
Vinka's the most lovely, wonderful person you'll ever met. She's from Montana in the US, and she's just fucking wonderful. I
dang.
miss that woman.
Hell yeah, Vinka from Montana. Shouts out to Vinka216. Oh dang.
Genuinely terrific woman. You're genuinely a lovely, lovely, lovely woman.
Hell yeah. Well, as we wrap up, guys, let us know. And yeah, welcome all BFAX friends, guys. We are TPTV. We do a bunch of different things here, and hopefully we'll do a bunch of different things, maybe involving BFAX soon. We'll chat after stream. Guys, let us know if there's anyone that you really want us to raid, because we're vibing today. It is, what fucking day of the week is it? Jesus. Is it Friday? Oh, I gotta do laundry after this. Happy Friday, everyone. BFAX, let the people know where to find you before we let you go and before we go raid someone.
The only place you'll find me is on Twitter at BestBFacts. I tell mediocre lies about bees, and I also whinge and bitch at Tories. That is basically my entire shtick.
I like that. Tories, I assume, are your right-wing politicians.
There are our equivalent of the Republican Party. They are absolute cunts. They have. I'm not going into it now, but I hate.
Hey,
them.
we got. I'm sure we're gonna talk again. So that's where we're gonna leave it, guys. This has been Ben Makes a Friend, BFAX 2. BFAX, I hate to say it, but I feel like we're friends, so you won't be on this show, but I think we're gonna be doing something else on this channel together, hopefully, maybe. If you're interested, but we're gonna go ahead and
I am.
Oh gosh, darn it. Let's talk details in just a few seconds. Let's go ahead and raid. You guys know him, hopefully. He's from Clerks 1, 2, and 3. Jason Mewes is streaming right now, so we're gonna go ahead and raid Jason.
Isn't that Jay and Silent Bob? Jay.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and raid Jay from Jay and Silent Bob because
fucking god, yeah!
I figured you'd like it. Let's go, guys. Please drop some love in chat, please, because if he says anything about TPTV, I will fucking cum my pants, man. I
will cum your pants as well.
Let's go, BFAX. It's been amazing. Thank you so much, mate.
I love you too, buddy.
Bye. And we're still here for a few seconds. So
we're live.
What's new? What's
Wait, are
going
we live?
No,
are
we're
we
still
no longer
live.
live?
No, we're still
Are
live.
we?
We're here. We
We're
can't leave
live.
yet. We can't leave yet.
Oh, we can't. Nobody can leave.
No one can leave yet.
No, wait.
Okay,
'cause
guys,
this
bye.
is